Now that we know Red Bull and Max Verstappen have won the 2024 Formula One world titles, it's time to turn our attention to the next championship. Joking aside, a few days ago, the organizers of the Australian Grand Prix proudly announced that Lewis Hamilton would compete in his first race with Scuderia Ferrari in 2025 at the Albert Park circuit in Melbourne. The information was quickly deleted from the Australian Grand Prix website as well as its social networks. But it clearly suggests that the Albert Park circuit, located in Melbourne, will host the very first Grand Prix of the 2025 season of Formula One, which is a distinction the event has not held since 2019. Traditionally, Australia has opened the Formula One season. However, following the 2020 race cancellation, it relinquished this privileged position. In recent times, Bahrain has hosted both the pre-season testing session and the initial race, a practical decision that consolidates costs related to Middle Eastern travel. This season, Melbourne finds itself as the venue for the third race, after the Bahrain Grand Prix and the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, mirroring its placement in the previous year. Yet, this is not a permanent fixture in the F1 calendar. A renewed agreement with Formula One management, prolonging the race until 2035, ensures Albert Park will occasionally serve as the season's starting point. Originally slated for 2024, a revision in plans reinstated Bahrain as the opener, while the Australian Grand Prix Corporation secured a 2-year extension, guaranteeing the event's continuation until 2037. Nevertheless, the 2025 championship is scheduled to commence in Australia, with pre-season testing poised to stay in the Middle East before the teams venture to Melbourne for the first round. The Suzuka event may revert to its traditional October slot or could be part of an early Asian tour. This adjustment might delay the Middle Eastern races by a week, setting up Miami to precede them around April 27th, a week sooner than this year's schedule. Following this, Formula One will enter the European leg in May, starting with the Imola Grand Prix and then Monaco later in the month. In Australia, the 2025 championship will see Formula 2 supporting Formula One, continuing the partnership established 2 years ago. There's also a growing interest in including the F1 Academy in the support lineup, possibly replacing Formula 3. Regarding other support categories, negotiations are likely needed for supercars, currently on a 1-year deal for 2024, given mutual interest in extending this collaboration. The Porsche Carrera Cup. Australia is anticipated to remain as the 4th support category. Of the 24 races on the 2024 F1 calendar, all 24 are already confirmed to return in 2025. 2 circuits had their contracts to host Formula One events set to expire in 2024. Race organizers at Suzuka signed a new 5-year contract extension in February 2024, while the Silverstone circuit host of the historic British Grand Prix inked a new 10-year deal 1 week later, keeping the iconic track on the schedule until at least 2034. No new events have been announced for the 2025 Formula One calendar. In January 2024, Formula One announced that the Spanish Grand Prix will move to Madrid, but this will not happen until 2026. There are plenty of rumors about other potential new races being added to the calendar, but it is rare that such rumors progress to solid plans for new events in a short period of time. What is known is that the sport continues to eye a return of the South African Grand Prix in the near future, most likely at the Kyalami circuit. A revival of the event, which was last staged over 30 years ago, seems the most likely of any potential new events to be added to the 2025 Formula One calendar. Any new races being added to the 2025 Formula One calendar are likely to be announced well in advance of next year's schedule being revealed. However, it should be remembered that, under the current commercial agreement, 24 is the maximum number of rounds which can be held during a single Formula One championship. Most likely, the F1 sprint format will continue into 2025. The sprint is an additional 30-minute race held on a Saturday afternoon, offering an extra slice of racing action at a select number of Grands Prix. As it stands, the 2025 Formula One calendar is still under development, but pending confirmation from F1 or the FIA, everything suggests that Melbourne will resume in 2025 the historic role assigned to it, that of launching a Formula One campaign. A privilege whose city has had 20 occasions over the 25 years of presence on the calendar since 1996. This also means that Lewis Hamilton's first official race weekend in red will occur down under. With just a handful of drivers having contracts in place for next year, we could see some other familiar faces at new Formula One teams.